Can you repeat that?
I mean, you guys dragged me out to this fucking hellhole. So what? I mean, what is this? What are we podcasting into?
We
Beer cans?
just lost the compliments.
No,
Welcome to the Steamboat Comedy Podcast, everybody. Real quick, I'm your host, Kyle Ruff, with you again. Going around, we got Andrhey Martinez. Say hello.
Hello.
As well as Jared Morrow.
How's it going?
And special guest.
All the way from across the table.
Across the he's literally several inches away.
Yeah.
Mr. Sean Patton, say hello, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Steamboat
you
Springs
for coming
at the
out.
Wait, Andrey.
Andre. Call me whatever you want.
No, I want to nail this because the way you spell your name.
It's spelled kind of weird.
Well, it's very
very unique.
It was one of these situations where it's like, okay, I could fuck this up real easily, and I don't know, and I don't like doing that because I feel like as Americans we are kind of like it's cool to be dumb, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I can't. How do you spell that crazy shit? I can't pronounce that. It's like Martine. You know, like it's always like simple, and your name's not complicated. I just want say it again.
Andre.
It's
like the giant. But like,
yeah, but just the way you.
It's like Andre 3000, but you just throw an H in the middle of it minus 3000.
It's Andre.
It's Andre. Andre. Yeah.
What a fucking name!
My parents were on mushrooms when they named me.
I mean, it's
no. They were fine. They were sober when they named you, and the shrooms kicked in when they filled out the birth certificate. How do you even spell Andre?
One eye in it.
They just did it like phonetically because they were just too stoned.
Yeah. I mean, hey, technically, my name is Sean, and it's spelled SEAN.
Seen.
And if you've never seen that before,
hey,
there we go. Look at that. We're starting a sketch
chemistry.
Right here. Right? But if you've never seen that before, you'd be like, I mean, I still to this day have people like I'll be like in line at a pharmacy or something, and people like Sean Patton, and I'm like
really,
Jesus
really,
Christ,
really, bro, really,
dude.
Like, have you lived in America for long or what?
Yeah.
No, it'll be like an old guy, like an old Sean Patton. I grew up here in New York, and you're like, so you never seen the name Sean?
Yeah, like not once.
Or Patton, General Patton? No, okay.
Yeah,
so,
doesn't ring a bell.
Can I just have my mochaccino? Thank you.
Yes, I am Cian. Give me my coffee. Well, right on.
Yeah.
Sean, we're so glad you're here. For those who don't know, Sean is headlining at the Chief Theater, a friend of the podcast, friend of Steamboat Comedy. We love the Chief. It's a great venue. It's a theater downtown here in Steamboat.
Yeah, sold out online. Well, sold out online. Which
Yes.
I don't know what that means. That means they only sell 18 tickets online, and then the rest are at the door.
Could be.
I think they got about 8 tickets left because I just got my ticket today.
Oh, sweet.
So that's about it. So
There you go. By the time you're hearing this, it's already over.
It's already happened.
Yeah. We're coming at you from the past.
Right. It was a great show, wasn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man. It was. I could say, the show was awesome. That couple up front. There's one in every crew. There's one at every show. They show up hammered and they think they're helping you out, and then
they're not.
And then one of them starts crying, and it's always the guy. You think you're like, oh God, is she gonna start crying? No, he's gonna start crying.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna walk out on him.
He's like, but I love you.
Yeah. That was weird when he tried to make out with the security guard, though. Like, that guy loved everything.
That security guy was hot.
Yeah,
he was in shape. I'll give him that.
I will say that dude. The fact that he worked the whole night with no shirt.
I felt very secure.
Yeah,
A little
crazy
weird for a
show.
comedy show, but it was cool.
Now we are sure the venue didn't fully burn down, right? Because it got crazy.
I mean, it was like the last 20 seats. Those people didn't pay as much.
Guys, I think I went to the wrong show.
I'm just like, wait, you weren't the clown with like the poodles and
What? So you guys? It's interesting to me that you guys have a full blown scene here now.
We're working on it. So for those who don't know, if you're listening to this for the first time, you can check episode 1, but we'll give you the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Basically, about a year or so ago, it was a year from January, a couple friends, Don Marzuka, shout out, and Brittany, shout out, they both put a thing on Facebook that were like, hey, we're thinking about crashing an open mic, like a music open mic and doing some comedy. Who's in? And the original 6, me and Andrhey are part of it, and we were actually the only 2 who had done it before we came here, and so we got tagged in it from some friends.
Right.
And we crashed it. There was a huge turnout. People were super into it, and then we just kind of hit the ground running.
Kept it going.
Yeah, and since then, I mean, things have been going great. We've been doing right now. We have open mics once a week at a couple different places in town. We try to do a big show about once a month with we'll bring in headliners. We just had last podcast you heard him, our boy Robbie Bernstein from New York. I don't know if you know the Legion to Skanks guys.
I do.
So Robbie co-hosts Dave Smith's podcast.
Okay.
And it's what I listen to a lot, so I just shot.
I believe I do know Robbie.
Yeah, you know, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Shorter, going bald, funny guy, loves sandwiches.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Now, if he hears this, Robbie, I meet a lot of people named Robbie. It took me a second to realize who you are. There's a lot more Robbies than you think. A few of you should be Roberts.
Yeah, right.
A few of you should be Bobbies.
You're all white. You're all balding for some reason.
Right.
You're all co-hosts. It's real weird. You're all co-hosts.
Always second place, the Robbies. Yeah, no, he's a great dude. He came skiing with us. He headlined a show we just did at Schmiggity's, which is like a concert venue downtown. It went really well.
Yeah.
And then we're making connections with people in Denver. We got our buddy Corey David, who's doing really well. He's coming out to headline a show with a couple friends in about 2 weeks.
Cool.
And then our buddy Pat Truer from Chicago. He's a pro. He does a lot of like corporate gigs around there, runs some open mics.
Cool.
Really cool guy. So yeah, we're kind of just working on networking, bringing people in, and doing shows with us. And like so far, we've had a great turnout here all the time. We've had great responses from other people coming in, and we're just trying to keep it going, man.
It's very cool. Like because I did a show here almost 4 years ago to the day.
Oh, nice.
At the Chief.
Oh.
It was like the 19th of 2016. We came up. I boarded. It was crazy because at that point. So let me just give you this real quick. There's a big shiny, wonderful prairie in my heart for Steamboat Springs, Colorado, because in the year 2000 I came here for the first time before I'd ever started doing stand-up, and 2000, 2001, 2002, 3 years in a row, snowboarded.
Nice.
Came and snowboarded. I was 21 years old. It was awesome. I had skied as a kid, and my parents always took us to like Breckenridge or Keystone somewhere, but I hadn't skied at that. I hadn't been on the snow like all of my teens and shit, So I came here, learned to snowboard, was decent at it. I was like, this is fucking amazing. Cut to 2016, a gentleman named Sam Talent, who, if you're in the state of Colorado, you should know. He's a Denver-based comedian.
Talented guy.
Okay.
Fucking great. Yeah, the last name isn't a stage name.
Oh,
But
I
it
definitely
easily
thought it was.
could be.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's his real last name.
It's
But he's
fortunate.
brilliant comedian. He's about to be huge. He's brilliant. But he
Awesome.
set me up with the Chief Theater guy, with Scott.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
we, my partner and I came out here. It was like an anniversary thing, and then we did a show. She had never snowboarded before, and I was like, yeah, you should do it. I can kind of show you how. I, at that point, hadn't snowboarded in 13 years.
Wow.
So I was like, I don't even know if I could still
You're
do
the
it.
perfect guy for the job.
Right. I'll show you. And it was crazy because it was, I don't know if you guys board or ski. I'm sure it's the same way with skiing.
Oh, yeah.
I popped up on the board and it was kind of psycho how immediate it came back to me.
Oh, yeah, it's like riding a bike.
It really
Instant.
is.
It's like, in fact, they should say riding a bike. It's like, oh yeah, it's like riding a snowboard. It's like snowboarding.
Right.
It was easier. Like it was almost like I was like, did I play a trick on myself where I hadn't actually ever left Steamboat?
Yeah.
Like the movie, like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I just had the past 13 years like wiped out and replaced with different memories. But I've
You're
just been
a pro snowboarder the whole time.
it was insane. Unfortunately, that skill doesn't always translate into teaching ability because I was a terrible. She spent 90% of the time on her knees and on her ass. You know what I mean? Like I'd come around the curve and be like, oh God, oh she's good. She's standing up
You
too
just see
upright.
it.
There it goes. There it
You
goes.
just
Yeah.
you watch it happen. You're like,
Yeah.
that's gonna,
Ooh,
you're gonna
yep.
crash.
There was one time where I came around, and I do know if you're a Steamboat person, my favorite run is Tomahawk.
Oh yeah.
Tomahawk's
oh,
a good one.
Yeah.
Great.
And I went up there by myself, and she was kind of doing green slopes, the bunny slopes. And I came back around, and I come around that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like that long, where it's kind of a nightmare for snowboarders because it's basically flat. And you
Oh,
gotta
that
build,
flat back to the lips.
yeah, all the way back to the
That's
yeah.
just lower tomahawk.
Yeah, that shit's rough if you're
Yes.
not if you don't have speed built
You
up.
get stuck, yeah.
But I was in a good all right. I'm a fat guy. I can low center of gravity. I just
there you go.
oh shit! And I just knocked one of the pop guards down. By the way,
Oh, boy.
they got pop guards at this podcast.
Pretty
Just try to
professional.
fix it.
Podcast. Right?
Didn't hear any of that.
A lot of podcasts don't have pop guards. These guys have a pop guard, but it'll stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I come around and I see her just walking the board. The board's off.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
just walking, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been there.
Oh, yep.
and I rode up kind of like on side of her and like, you know, like
Sprayed her, of
sprayed
course.
a little bit. But she gave me this look where I was like, oh, she might throw that thing at me. This might not only be where I started snowboarding again, but where I stopped breathing.
Yeah, you're like, how sharp are those edges?
But you know, aside from that, like the show was awesome. It was such a cool hang, and like it's kind of one of these places that like you know, I've been to a few other, you know, Vale places, you
Yeah.
know,
Rich ass ski towns.
you know, and they're great, they're awesome. But this has like Steamboat just has this very towny feel to it.
Sure.
Big time.
Yeah.
Very,
I
it's
think-
down to earth people
I
here.
think that's
Yeah.
why a lot of us actually end up staying here for so long is
Yeah.
because you have like that really town vibe. It's not like, oh, I'm in this crazy ski town. Like you walk downtown, you're like, oh, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't see people walking around in fur. It's like, no, you see another ski bum right there.
right.
You're
I
good.
also I like how the downtown is separate from the
Yeah.
mountain too. Like I think that really adds a little. He's giving podcast quarterback here. You know, hey, lean in. Don't
Talking to the mic directly.
don't breathe as heavily.
Yeah, right.
Hey, put your pants back on.
Whoa.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
here.
it's not too many rules here.
Let's not get crazy here.
Stop picking at the goddamn wounds. Stop picking scat. Anyway, we'll
It's
edit
never
that
gonna
out.
heal.
But yeah, like, that's what you need for a comedy scene, though. You need locals. You
I
need
mean,
locals.
I
Yeah.
think the reason why it picked up so like fast is because like people here in Steamboat just want to laugh. Like since the first night we did it, everybody was
Yeah.
just like, "When are you guys doing it again?" And we're like, "We
Oh,
just
yeah.
fucking like nailed it." And
Like we're just figuring this out.
like we don't have a plan, but tomorrow, next week,
Yeah.
Well, just when do you want us to do it again?
Yeah, right. What
Pretty
much.
do you think?
Pretty
Yeah, I mean,
much.
there's just if you want to do anything like that or see any kind of like entertainment, you basically have to go to Denver.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
Fort Collins or something.
Yeah.
And there's a good amount of people in this valley and the surrounding valleys,
Yeah.
and
That don't want to drive.
they don't
I
want
just
to
don't
drive.
want to take a 3-hour drive.
No.
And it's a
Right.
mountain drive.
Mhm.
It's beautiful when you're in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
It fucking blows.
Terrifying.
It can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
People
I'm
are
like,
sketchy.
and I'm also like a guy. I'm like, I'm doing 60 in a 60 on an icy road, and fucking guys in their trucks are passing me, and it's like, what is it? What's your thing?
Yeah.
What do you got to rush to, brother?
Yeah, right.
You know, what do you and why?
Is it worth it?
Yeah, I gotta go fast, man. I know these roads like the back, you know. And then because you see him speed past you, and you're like, the first thing I think is, if this guy catches some ice, spins out, the truck flips, do I stop to help him? Because
No.
he passed me in a very he passed me in a way that said fuck you. But then I'm like, okay, I'd probably stop to help, but then remind him the whole time that he passed me.
Like you're
That's a-
kind of being a dick.
Like, yeah,
I've
you were driving kinda
experienced
fast.
that, and by the time that I was like, should I help him? Should I not help him? Do I stop? Do I not stop? I just got home.
Yeah, you're just like,
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say he bled out.
like as you're pulling him out of the fiery wreckage, like if you hadn't tried to pass me, none of this would happen. By the way,
Just rub it in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna put you back in.
yeah, stay. It's warm in there where,
Yeah,
the,
right?
where the
Yeah.
engine's on fire.
Like, I think you don't want to be out here. It's too cold.
But point is, like, yeah, Denver has a fantastic comedy scene.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great.
You know, one of the greatest but my favorite and everyone's favorite great club, the Comedy Works. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll be there. If you're listening to this and you end up in Denver, I will be there April 16th through 19th
And
with
it gets,
Caitlin.
19
Holla.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. And but also Fort Collins has we did a show in Fort Collins last night, and they're opening up a new club and or their first club, and that's awesome. And so
Awesome.
like you've got Denver, which is a national hub of comedy, international even.
Oh yeah.
And now you got Fort Collins, which is going to be something, and Steamboat's not far, so you got this like triangle that can form the opposite of the Bermuda Triangle, where people go into it and it's happy.
They get found
and
instead
yeah,
of
you-
lost.
exactly. You find yourself, man.
There's like,
Yeah.
there's
Or they'll
also
come
kind of-
to and they'll be like, "Oh fuck, I've been snowboarding for 13 years."
Yeah. How many children do I have?
It's like, oh god.
Yeah. And that's not a bad come to.
Where did this gold medal come from?
Holy, how many endorsements do I have?
We only have bronze in this town. Let's be real.
Yeah, well, that's a claim to fame here in Steamboat is we have the most Olympians of any town in North America.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
89?
none of them have won gold. Yeah, it's like I think it's over 90
91.
now.
We have a bunch of
91.
Yeah.
triers.
We got
not
a
lot
bunch of third
doers.
placers.
Yeah.
Really?
We got a big statue for our bronze winner at the base.
Yeah, we do. And you can still ski with that bronze winner, and he's kind of a dick.
Do they what do they do when they're not, they just hang out on the mountain, get rip roaring high?
Probably.
Yeah, and just man, next year gonna go silver, man.
One step at a time.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You don't want to. You want to go out on goal. You don't want to
Wanna
start
rush
going.
into that
Gotta
goal.
climb the ladder.
You don't want to be. What I want to be, the Michael Phelps of snowboarding.
Nah, it's too much.
Is that what I want to be? And then
I want
get
to smoke
busted?
weed and not get in trouble for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like technically. So if those guys, when they have to compete, do they have to take piss tests? And then it's like
Honestly, I don't know.
you can't have weed. It's like, but yes, I can because it's legal.
Yeah.
I wonder that with legal states a lot.
Well-
Like cops can smoke weed.
The thing
Yes.
is, it's still
Yeah.
not federally legal.
Right,
So
yeah, right.
technically, it's not legal anywhere in America if a Fed busts you. It's one of these kind of weird.
That's why they can't invest. They can't put their money in banks. All these
Right.
growers, they have to
There's
invest
they
in
have
things. Yeah.
so many
So I have to
loopholes they
pay
gotta
cash
fuck
at the
with.
dispensary
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
All cash. Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like going to like the DMV when you go in there. They're like, take a number, stand over here, like no eye contact.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you
It's
can
like-
smell one thing.
It's like the soup Nazi. Like when you walk in, you like hand your
Yeah.
ID and then you shuffle to the side.
Yeah. Shuffle left if you want indica, right if you want sativa.
Yeah.
Yes.
No
Oil.
hybrid. No hybrid. Hybrid
Yeah.
lines on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Go to the back.
Hybrid,
Yeah.
you go outside, go around the back.
I mean, that's a funny thing too. Like like the bud tenders,
Yes.
Yeah.
because like sometimes I've been to many a bar where the bartender's shit faced.
Yes.
Because they're nipping while they're working, and you shit, and then you get this thing's like a Buster Keaton routine with this fucking pop guard, dude. I
the
keep my
Keystone.
hands away from the mic, but you go and like drunk bartenders, and they'll pour shots and forget that they poured them for you, and
Right.
like give you a tab, and you're like, I drank way more than $18 worth of alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you're bad.
Yeah.
But like I've seen it with bud tenders where they're like out of their
They're so
goddamn
sound.
minds, and you're like, fuck, if there weren't so many cameras and like security around here, I bet you could get like I just got an ounce.
Oh, you could swipe it.
You just No, I already paid you, man. Like, oh yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. You told me I didn't have to put it in a sealed bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's I guess that.
That does sound like me. That's
Yeah, that's the thing I would say. Because like, look, man, your consciousness is already a bag that you're sealed inside of. Open it
Yeah.
to
Life is just a
expand
bag,
your
man.
inner you, which is merit. You are smoke yourself. And become intoxicated off your own off your own psyche, man.
Yes. You
Think about
are
that shit.
Alaskan Thunderfuck.
Yeah. That is your name.
My name's Steve. No,
No,
it isn't, man.
bro.
Need the badge again, man.
You are Alaskan Thunderfuck. and that you are White Widow. I like that bud tender who's just like assigning
Yeah.
people like, you man, you are a gold champagne. You know what I mean? Like you're like a session sativa. You know what I mean?
You're like, thanks, man. I always
Yeah.
thought it's like reading your horoscope. You're like, you know what? I agree.
You know what I need in life, man? I need a good CBD, man.
Yeah, Chaz, I think you're right.
Bring me down. Yeah.
Yep. And then some shitty guy walks in like, you're the Snickle Fritz. Get out.
What's a Snickle Fritz?
That's the shitty weed in Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give him the Snickle Fritz.
I thought that was maybe the fake weed that people were smoking forever. That was like, oh, this also it'll get you kind of high
Oh, you
and
mean
Oh.
definitely give you brain cancer.
That's
Spice.
Spice. Yeah.
Spice.
God, Jesus.
Oh boy.
Let's not go into that.
Oh boy. Well, Sean.
Yeah.
Whenever we have a gentleman here or lady of your caliber,
Okay.
we kind of like to pick your brain because we, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're all kind of learning by experience. We're not learning from other people who have been in the scene.
Yeah.
Like, the most experienced people here are me and Andrhey because we were, like, 3 months ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
So, whenever
I'll just
we...
say this, man. My brain's like a scab. Pick away. But don't get freaked out when the blood starts pouring, bro. All right? Gonna get everywhere, man. Hope you got Band-Aids nearby. I wish I really talked like this. I wish I really talked like fucking like Jeff McConaughey.
Well,
You know, like,
Sean
Matthew's my
McConaughey.
brother. I'm Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm really fucking out there. He copies off me, man.
he does car commercials, but just for, like, Ford F-150.
That's it. I won't plug a car if it's got anything less than a V8 under that
Yeah,
fucking
right.
hood, man.
Little pussy-ass cars over here, Matthew.
Hey, and it was like, hey man, watch your language.
Oh,
We
excuse
respect
me.
women around here. All right, we don't
All right,
respect the
all right.
environment.
Yeah, right.
But-
now, throw your beer can on the ground.
Yeah.
And watch
We
your
don't
mouth.
recycle, but we also don't say the P word. Okay, I'm Jeff McConaughey.
You
This
burn
statement
that tire.
endorsed by Jeff McConaughey.
Jeff McConaughey. It's spelled GEOFF.
Oh, yeah.
by the way. So don't say Jeffrey. I can fuck you catch a right hook calling me Jeffrey.
Catch these hands, boy. Right. So I mean,
pick away.
we kind of like to hear the process for people because, like, for us, it's kind of hard because we only get, even if you want to do open mic as much as you can, you get like 1 day a week.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know, like, we meet all these guys in Denver, and they're grinding, and they're doing like 6, 7, 8 open mics a week, if not more.
Yeah.
And so coming up with material for us is kind of interesting. I always like to hear, like, what is your avenue for coming up with new bits, working on bits, that kind of thing?
I mean, well, first of all, it's really interesting because I started in New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's my hometown, but I
I
started
read that on
there.
your website earlier.
Yeah. Thank you for reading.
Yes.
I put it there so you know. But like everything you're describing about what you guys are dealing or like in now is really how the New Orleans scene was when I first started.
Right on.
There were two weekly open mics, but one of them, if there weren't enough audience, just wouldn't happen. The other one's pretty rock steady. So you had one consistent one, and then you had a handful of like monthly shows, and there were maybe 20 comedians total in the city. And if you were good, you got up maybe 6-7 times a month, right?
Wow.
And that was then. That was I'm talking 2001. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to throw that out there. This will, like, in October I will have been doing stand up for 19 years.
Hey,
Wow,
Which is
good for you, man.
You know, which is older than some of the people who've come to shows and I've said horrible things in front of. But I've just said filthy things. And I'm like, oh, you're 18? Cool. Shit. Wow. Well, you know a lot about analingus now. but from a scientific standpoint. Yeah. But like back then, so I'm familiar with the kind of hustle you're going through where you're trying to get people to like, hey, this exists. Come see it. And like the only advice I could give on that front is just consistency and keep at it, because like you've probably experienced them already. If you haven't, you will. There will be shitty shows. There will be crappy audiences.
We've ate shit a few times. That's happened.
But you just got to roll with them. Like they take, and the same thing that happens after great shows. It's the same mindset. If you get on stage and you fucking bomb so hard that like a Vietnam vet is like, I regret defending this country, and you know, like a couple breaks up, and like another guy looks over at his son and goes, "You're not my real son." Like, if you have such a bad set that you ruin the audience's lives, you have to get up the next morning and just fucking dig in. Be like, well, what did I learn? Don't suck.
Sure.
Yeah.
And just keep going. Same goes if you have a set that is so great that a person in a wheelchair stands up. They laugh. You make them laugh so hard that their spine like realigns and reconnects. And they stand and fucking.
They don't even care that they gave away their insurance fraud scheme.
They don't give a shit. Yeah. And someone else is like, my cancer went away. I just know. And you know, someone proposes right there on the spot to a stranger, and they say yes because your comedy is so good.
That's what happened with that security guard at the Chief Theater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a billionaire just goes, you know what? I just liquidated my assets, and I'm giving each of you an equal split. If you have a comedy set that great, you have to wake up the next morning and do the same exact things. What would I learn there? Cool, but there were still things I did wrong, and I could do better. And also, don't ride the lows or the highs too long.
Right.
Just ride them long enough just to feel it, just to truly experience what you did and what it was, but then get right back to the ground.
Yeah, gotta get back on the grind.
You gotta stay on the grind. So that's as far as that's concerned. But like, I mean, I've always been I just like writing, and it's hard. Writing a fucking can some days just like make you feel like a worthless piece of shit because you're just pumping out crap, and some days makes you feel like a titan, a god even because you know, a god. But you know what I mean? Like, not like a god in the sense of like I can control man. But a god in the sense of like I'm really awesome.
I'm so good.
I'm really awesome at comedy, but just that. But like writing to me is like important, and writing, I really can't stress this enough, takes many forms. I think too many comedians and too many people in general just think it's about the written word and what you're verbalizing, but writing is also physical.
Sure.
Like, I don't like when comedians shit on other comedians for being too physical. Because it's like, that's still a written bit.
Oh, yeah.
They still, like, wrote that impersonation of a peacock. They wrote that out.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's part of the thing.
Yeah,
Otherwise
yeah.
it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
yeah.
Writing is just the creation, and it can take any form, from written word to an act out to
Right.
a fucking change of your voice to
Sure.
a slight moment where you know a thing you do with your
Yeah.
your shoulder.
That?
Yeah.
It's all writing. It's all and like, but then also yes, the words that are coming out of your mouth. Obviously, that's like the writing. Those are that's important. It's very important. I love doing that. As hard as it is, and as much as it can suck sometimes, but as great as it can be sometimes, and as awesome as it can be, you still just got to do it.
Gotta do it.
And as much as you possibly can.
Put in
Now,
the
it is-
reps.
the difficult thing is if you guys don't have the large volume of stage time, it can sort of feel like you're spinning your wheels a little bit.
A little bit.
Because
Yeah.
With us, it's been
yeah.
kind of hard because we have a great following of people, but it to a certain extent is kind of the same people.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of pressure for people to do
Sure.
new
New
stuff.
all the
sure.
time.
Yeah,
That's
which
good
I mean,
though. Embrace that.
sure. I mean,
Because let me tell you, you're not spinning your wheels. And from my experience, like I was in New Orleans for 4 years doing comedy, like I said, in that exact similar situation what you guys are doing.
Mhm.
Then I moved to LA for a year. Then I moved to New York, and I've been there since. And I'm on the road and shit now. But like, you're not spinning your wheels, and it's at a certain point. They're just. How long have you been at it now?
Well, about 3 years, but I stopped for like a little bit,
And
and
then
then and a year ago is when I got back up. So basically a year, because once you stop doing it, like
You get rusty.
you get rusty, and then it's.
I'm kind of in the same boat as
Yeah.
Andrhey. I did it for the first time the week after my 29th birthday, and then I started up again.
So you haven't
January
done it
last
yet?
year.
Is that what you're saying? How old are you?
I'm fucking 22 years old.
Yeah, I mean, if
I
you said
planned
that,
this out.
Are you 30? Are you past?
I'm about to turn 31.
he's balding.
Lord.
You can't tell, but
I was
Yeah.
like this.
Damn thin.
I was
Actually, I've been paying for this shit to grow
Yeah.
my hair back. I thought it was a scam. It's working. It's fucking crazy.
I thought you were a very mature, like 22.
Well, thank you.
That's what I thought. Now I think you're just a fucking.
Piece of shit.
No, now I think 31. I'm like, yeah, you're 31. Now like it's like staring at one of those magic eye paintings.
And then you just finally
Like the
comes clear.
image, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, it's a
that
fucking elephant.
That mustache is thicker than I thought.
It was not thick when I was
Yeah.
22. That's for sure.
He does have the smile lines.
yeah.
You have in
Yeah.
your early 30s from like,
Yeah.
man. What about you?
I've been doing it for about 9 months now.
Oh, fresh
So
baby.
Literally,
Fresh.
he looked at me one day and he's like, "Why don't you get up and do it?" I was like, I don't know, man." He's like, "You're fucking funny. Write a joke." I went, "All right."
Man, you're so young. Like if we were asshole, like if this were a gang situation, we should be beating the shit.
Oh,
We should-
I'd be.
This should be like
We've
I
sodomized
was gonna
him
hurt
many
the
a
new
time.
guy.
I'd be getting jumped in right now. Hard.
Yeah. But
No, Joe's doing great though for being a rookie.
Okay, well, like 'cause I only ask because I feel like you hear the number 5 years get thrown around a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I truly do feel like. Excuse me. I don't coronavirus. It's cool. I truly do feel like. I hope it isn't. By the way, that it's not always 5. Some people it takes a little bit longer. Some people it happens way quicker. But like you get to this point where you feel truly comfortable on stage, and why I say write as much as you can is because it's happened to me a lot, and it's sometimes it goes absolutely nowhere and it bombs,
Right.
but then it sparks something in you that becomes good later. And sometimes in the moment, it's just because it's so in the moment, it's amazing, and it's like whoa. But like when you write all this material, your brain logs it all. And
Sure.
you have this backlog of shit that maybe you've never tried on stage, but you'll be in a situation where you'll get a laugh off of some dude, and some guy laughs and then goes like, "Oh man, that was, and you're like, "Are you all right, man? Are you having a heart attack?" And then you remember like, "Wait a second, I wrote that one bit about hearts," and then you just
boom.
do it
And then you just-
because you're in
Yeah.
the minute, and it's like boom, and then that
Muscle
guy,
memory.
right,
Yeah.
right, and but if your brain is essentially a muscle in that regard, and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
or you're like you're doing a show and it's not going too well, but then in that moment you're like, well, I've had worse, and then you remember like, oh my god, I wrote that bit. That like bit / story about the time I was riding a bike drunk and woke up the next morning in a different state. Like, did I ride the bike that? No, but it's a whole bit story, and you tell it right there, and all of a sudden
Sure.
it kills, and the audience is on your side. That's never actually happened to me where I was riding a bike drunk and then woke up in a different state. I just think that's probably a funny story.
It's definitely
Very
a
well
story.
could be.
As if you're in Colorado, and you're like, I can bike home, it's 2 miles, and then you wake up in Nevada, and you're like, how did that happen?
You're like,
What
"That's
happened?
600 miles.
What, did I get that into cycling? But like just like keeping that subconscious muscle of creation
Yeah.
going as much as you possibly can, even when the stage time isn't there. And then it'll build.
Yeah.
And it'll get bigger. And I can't stress this enough. If you are in a small scene like this and you want to stay in one, I feel like, 10 years ago, I could honestly argue the point of, no, if you want to be a comedian, you got to move to one of these 5 cities.
Right.
I do not feel as strongly about that now. I truly feel like with the internet being what the internet is, the essentially oxygen at this point.
Right.
I don't know which is more, which does more for people, the internet or oxygen. That's a dumb statement.
Well, there's no porn in oxygen. I know that.
That's a very
I don't know.
millennial.
Yeah. I don't know,
Yeah.
bro. If you ever broth in so hard, you got horny. Sometimes you broth real hard, bro. But like,
No, for sure. I mean, that's the thing that we've all benefited from is we've had. I mean, all of us have basically been in crowds, or at least like Andrhey and I. We did a show New Year's Eve at the Chief Theater, and
that's
we
probably fun as
sold
hell,
it
right?
out.
yeah.
It was, I mean, it's 150 seats, and like we're a year in, and we're headlining this show that's 150 seats, and it all went so well. We
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much
awesome.
killed,
Everybody killed.
and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, all of these times I keep trying to tell people like, you guys, like, this doesn't happen to most people who
Right.
are.
We're
as
very
new as
lucky.
we
Right.
are.
We
We
are
are
very
so
lucky.
fortunate to have the kind of opportunity that we've had. And so it's like it's just nice to be big fish in small ponds, which I know, and that's a thing that I think is working out for us.
Yeah.
Because like a guy like Robbie, for example,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know Robbie's fucking hilarious, and
Robbie's
he
very
came
funny.
up, dude. He crushed.
Yeah.
We let him headline. It was the
Too
first time he ever headlined,
Oh,
and
really?
he'd been doing
Good
this
for
for 8 years or 9 years, and he blew the fucking doors off the place. And like we have a spot where we're like, hey, you may not be like the A+ fucking Dave Chappelle guy, but we'll give you a spot to like be the dude. You want to come be the dude? And they're like, fuck yeah, dude.
I love that idea of like, look, we
Please
can't
do.
get Dave Chappelle.
But we can
So-
get
we can definitely get Louis C.K.
somewhere-
now.
yeah. We need one more scandal. And we got Louis. It's tomorrow.
So you're saying you guys can't get Chappelle out here?
yeah, you guys are fucking lame.
So Kevin Hart's not coming to
Gotta
do.
fucking
I've been
outta here.
reaching out
Yeah.
for weeks. He's been blowing me off.
I mean, he's got a lot of. He's got. Wait, what's the new thing he plugs? What's his new commercial?
Jumanji?
I feel like that. I feel like Kevin. There must be 8 to 10 Kevin Harts, because you see him in too many places
He's a busy guy.
to be one human being.
yeah.
But,
he's probably got
Do
clones.
short
He's got
people
money for
move
clones.
faster? Like, is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, yeah, he's got money for clones. Yeah.
He's got clone cash for sure.
But like the yeah, like that's awesome. And I mean like, but I feel like it's an important thing to like create a situation where you can, if you can do it monthly, please like do it. I understand that's difficult, but if you can do a monthly situation where once a month you have Dave Chappelle, Bill Bart, but no,
That's
but
what
like-
we're
like-
aiming for
Right,
that
right,
kind
right.
of thing.
But you once a month have like you're saying like guys like Robbie, you come in, and guys like me, guys like Sam Talent, and you've got like a wealth of, speaking of talent, like Denver, you could pull some
oh yeah.
just Jedis out of that scene alone.
And that's like our buddy Corey. Shout out to
Yeah.
Corey. He's a really funny dude on the
Yeah.
up and coming. He went on tour. He opened for Miss Pat in a couple different
Oh
places.
yeah, sure.
And he's every time he's come up and performed with us twice already. This will be the 3rd time, and he's crushed every time he's been up here.
Yeah.
So funny. And it's like we have like all these talented people who are so close, and they're just so hungry for opportunity.
Yeah.
We've made opportunity.
Yeah.
We have opportunity here.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going to help us build this scene.
Yeah, like definitely bringing in monthly headliners helps,
Fuck yeah.
because then it like raises the bar
Mhm.
and everyone wants to do better, and the audiences are like expecting more, but that's good. You want them
Right.
expecting more.
Exactly.
And then I would say, as much as you guys can, get out. Like
Sure.
take
Yeah.
take, you know,
Every time we
we-
travel, we try to
Yeah.
like, even
We
if
need
it's
to
for like a
travel
couple
more.
of days.
Yeah.
We need to travel.
Because like
more.
I've
That
just,
is the-
yeah.
I've gone up in Chicago once.
Yeah.
I go up in Ann Arbor every once in a while because my girlfriend, Sweet Sarah Jane, in the
Sweet
corner.
Sarah Jane.
Sweet Sarah Jane.
She was she's behind me right now. The gun.
Sure
She's
is.
holding the knife to my neck, making sure I stay
Yeah.
funny.
Make sure you don't
Cooperate.
fuck her. Yeah.
This is in the back.
You're
of
not
your
allowed to
skull.
leave yet.
The moment you say something that doesn't kill, I kill.
Want to press that in a little harder?
Okay.
The kill clause.
But no, like but it's like, okay, I think New York is just, there's great comics in both New York and LA. You can't
Of
argue
course.
the quality wise it's similar, but the sheer volume
Right.
of shows and stage time in New York just can't be touched.
Yeah.
It just cannot be touched. I mean, like I'm fortunate enough to be in a situation where like I go up in New York. When I'm in New York for a full week on average, I approach 30 sets a week.
That's insane.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'd
That's
say
nuts.
I average, maybe so 4 a night. I would say is
Yeah.
my average. You know what I mean? And like,
Like starting at what time and ending at what time?
I mean, dude, on the weekends I'm starting at like 7:30, and like my last set will be like a 1:45 a.m.
Wow, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but like you're bouncing around, and like some weeks not as much. Some weeks I only do 20 sets, but then you're like, it's still 20 sets.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
see, I'm
that
so
because,
envious.
Like, is that because like
Seriously.
of where you're at right now in your career, or is that because like it's available?
No, it's. I mean, it's a little bit about. It's mainly because of where I'm at.
Sure.
I mean, like I don't like to be humility.
you're, you know-
humility is my bloodline.
But you're doing great.
But I'm
You're
doing
doing
good.
great.
Right.
You're
Well,
doing
thank you. But like, yeah, it's because where I'm at.
Okay.
And like, so I'm past at some really good clubs there, and they have, the Cellar's fantastic. The
Yeah.
Stand's fantastic.
Mhm.
New York comedy clubs, great. And you've got a bunch. And there's a shitload of like bar shows and like other comedy clubs. There's 14 comedy clubs in Manhattan alone.
That's fucking crazy.
There's a few in Brooklyn now, but there's also bars. So like, you just get the fuck. And like, here's the thing. I'm saying I get on stage 4 times a night. To some guys, that's low. There are other comics who I know push 6 or 7 spots a night.
Wow.
But like, it's just for me personally, I'm like the commitment to everything I fucking do on stage, doing it 6 or 7 times. And I've done that. I've had 6 and 7 shows
Sure.
Saturday nights, and it's great. For me, the sweet spot is like, give me 4 spots a night during the week, and then jump it up to 5, maybe 6 on the weekend.
Is it kind of like running a marathon where like once you get to a
Can
certain
be.
point, you're like,
Certainly
oh,
can be.
fuck.
And then
Okay.
sometimes you're freaking out and you're like texting who like the person who's knows right before. You're like, hey, can you switch? And
Yeah.
and like
Because you gotta
Yeah.
or
line it up.
You're,
You're
you're
like,
like telling the booker like, hey, can we please move
It's
this
like
around?
it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
fresh. Like let
Right.
me.
But like it's great. It's fucking amazing. But I love it. But I can even say like when I first moved to New York, I was doing 2-3 open mics a night. Just to get to the point where then I was getting booked on bar shows. And then after a while doing bar shows, and I got a couple TV spots, and then the clubs kind of had this renaissance, and then I started getting club spots. So it's like New York really, as far as that's concerned, is a meritocracy. Like if it has its ups and downs, but like if you are funny, you will. Like if you are truly funny,
You can power through.
and like for real, like a truly funny guy, and you're not an asshole, you will climb.
Oh, that cancels all of
Fuck.
us out.
Yeah, so actually, that was my next thing. I've actually been sent by the comedy board of New York City to say,
You guys
We're
can
all
just
you
assholes.
fucks stay out of the Eastern time zone.
We're banned.
Yeah, but LA. I mean, like in LA has some great clubs, but it does not have the stage time to facilitate the amount of comedians. You talk to LA comedians, we're like, if you can get up once a night, that's great.
That's
But-
Shit. All right.
Yeah.
So New York's a sweet spot then.
yeah.
Is it less clubs or just more comedians?
It's probably more comedians and absolutely less clubs.
Wow.
Like the LA area, I think has like I'm talking like all of Southern California, like until you get to like San Diego. But like
Because I mean, there's a store and like.
there's the store, there's the improv, there's the comedy, the Laugh Factory,
The Ice House?
there's
Oh,
Ice
yeah.
House,
Yeah.
there's the Comedy and Magic Club, and then there's fucking Flappers.
Yeah.
Flappers
Of
in
course.
Burbank. But that's like what 6, 7 clubs.
Yeah.
And then they have a lot of bar shows, but also like LA sprawled. So it's not that easy to get around all the time. Whereas New York just it's its own it's everything. You're all up each
you're
other's
there.
butts. You move fast. Like I love those nights where you got 4 or 5 spots and you can walk to them all.
Yeah.
And then your
that'd be
Fitbit's just like,
sick.
take it easy. And you're like, you fucking take it step by step. That's your job.
Well, isn't the cellar like right down the street from the improv? Like, isn't it right there? Or
The cellar? Oh, the store?
the store, sorry.
The store is right down the street from the Laugh Factory. The
Well,
Improv's
okay.
maybe like 2 miles away, though. They're all very
Okay.
close. You can walk from the store to the Laugh Factory relatively easy. It's still a decent walk, though. But
Well, I
like,
mean,
yeah. But also, I think Denver, Chicago, and Atlanta, and D.C.
Atlanta.
Yeah, those are the 4 cities I would say outside of New York or L.A. If you didn't want to move to New York or L.A. or go to New York or L.A. that much, those 4 cities all have.
DC, I didn't know that. Atlanta makes sense because it's a big ass city.
Yeah, they got
But
some. Yeah.
DC is kind of
DC's got DC right now has like 4 clubs. and they're all
Wow.
pretty great, you know. And Chicago's obviously Chicago, and Denver
Yeah.
is awesome. But like, as far as like, find ways to get on stage, and that's the hard part, because I was in a similar situation in Louisiana where there's nothing. The nearest comedy scene was Houston back then,
Jeez.
and what's still 5-hour
That's
drive.
wide, yeah.
Yeah, and the Houston had a fuck ton of comedians living there back then because they had a lot more clubs
Yeah.
back, you know. So it was hard to, you'd go out there and you'd do an open mic, but that was about it. But like, you have to just, it's hard to do, but wherever you can go travel to or find opportunities to get on stage, do it as much as you can, but don't do it to the point, like, I don't agree with the idea of stage time for stage time's sake, if that makes sense.
Right.
Sure.
You know, like, I
You
feel
don't
like,
want to bore people. You don't want to be there just to get out there.
right, you don't, or you don't want to, like, I mean, I'm torn a little bit, because sometimes you could be in a situation where it's an awful, awful, awful situation, but something is gained from it. You have an experience, you get a story out of it.
I feel like anything, any experience is positive experience. Even
So-
if you eat a fucking bag of shit,
Right.
at least you're
Bombing
doing it. and you
is
know-
always good for you.
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that, like, so, like, yeah, like, situations like that, you gotta go through them. But then, like, doing a fucking open mic at a bus stop. Like, I mean, well, it sounds funny, but then, like, a lot of those situations where it's like, look at this. You're like, yeah, but then you get out there and you're not actually working on material. You're kind of just shouting at people.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you're gaining, I guess, stage time in the sense of like your stage fright is decreasing and your comfortability in front of other people is increasing.
Sure.
But you're lacking the quality time that is necessary to develop and hone out material.
It's kind of like if no one's
Yeah.
paying attention to what you're saying, then you don't actually know if your material is good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can win over
Yeah.
a crowd, obviously, but there's a point.
Right. I would say like, yeah, like create as many stage time opportunities as you can, but like also like it's a like care about that side too.
Yeah.
Because that's a fucking thing you see a lot of just people who like, hey man, I got this new bar show. Can you come do it? And you go do it. And it's like, okay, there's no stage. You want us to stand in front of the dartboards because that's the only stage light type thing you
Right.
have. So you're telling them they can't play darts. You're next to the bathroom, and the mic is plugged in to the sound system, which is behind the bar. So you're doing a set, and the cord is stretching across the bar, and every time someone wants to go to the bathroom, you have to walk towards the bar so they can walk over it or under it.
You have to like double.
That's a
double.
real story.
Was this in Portland?
No. Nah, man. In Portland, they have just silent comedy shows where everybody just sits in a room and laughs on the inside.
Dude,
with
I've
their
had
own
some
thoughts.
shit. I've had some shitty shows in Portland where like I'm just there and I'm like, and it's just fucking
Portland,
Right,
Oregon?
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Portland, I think, is going through a phase now. Where like 10 years ago, they're like, we're so weird, man. We're out there. And now they're like, we're not that weird, everyone. All right? Portlandia kind of took it a little too far. We're not that fucking weird, please.
Guys.
Yeah.
Still move here. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's the other thing, too. Like, you know, there's all this talk about PC and what you can say and what you can't say. And here's, the facts. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Just be prepared to deal with the repercussions.
Correct.
Right.
And if you are saying something that is funny and I think ultimately brings out some sort of positive, even if you're shitting on something, even if you were doing a tirade on fucking Donald Trump, but you figure out a way to not only A, make people laugh, but B, find a way to, like, there is some sort of positive light at the end of the tunnel here.
Sure.
Say whatever the fuck you want. And if that
Yeah.
means you're saying words that offend people, do it as long as you're doing it with a goal, knowing that you are bringing them somewhere.
And knowing that, like, while you're
Yeah.
figuring it out, it
Yeah.
might not go so well.
And it's going to be bumpy. But the motherfuckers who just say shit, who are just like, what? And they get up on stage and they say,
being for the sake of it.
right.
Yeah.
The word that before gay people were around meant a bundle of sticks to start a fire, if you know what that is.
So if you
Yeah.
just so you know, for
Yeah.
clarity,
Yeah.
we refer to this house as the fag house
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're all
the fag home.
it's a home
Yeah.
because we're all fucking awesome guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those.
So if-
whenever
if-
we have a text, it's like it's rented or like
Hey,
the
fag.
utilities are $10 a fag.
Yeah. So if the acronym for this house was fucking awesome guys, great orators too. If that
You got it.
okay, so that acronym. So you get a guy
But
who
we
just,
also love everybody.
right, who just says that on stage, And then he just says it for the shock value.
Right.
And it's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
But I don't disagree with his right to say that.
Of course.
But I also I'm like, well, I'm going to make fun of you now. I'm going to shit on you. But if someone who gets on stage says that and then makes a bit out of it and goes somewhere, and it's like, aha,
Right.
you've discovered something not
Yes.
only funny
Yes.
but insightful, and it's a positive thing. Fucking A.
I'm 100%
You know what I mean?
exactly.
I feel like you definitely bring that to the table, like from stuff that I've heard
try.
from you. You definitely bring that to the table.
I mean,
which is-
thank you. There are others who are far better at it, but like, I just feel like that's the point of comedy. Is sometimes you're gonna make people uncomfortable,
You got to push boundaries.
and they're gonna laugh because they're uncomfortable, and then all of a sudden they're gonna be comfortable with the thing that previously made them uncomfortable, and
Plus,
now
it's
they
a beautiful moment. When,
right, right.
You just see somebody laugh, and you're like, "Fuck, I don't want to be laughing," but like,
But
they're
they're
just,
laughing.
but they're
Andre gets a
laughing.
lot of those. Kind of like,
Yeah.
oh
God.
But
Yeah.
they're laughing. But they're
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. Like I think that's ultimately why it exists, is to like so we can laugh at the human condition.
Of course.
And the moment you start, so I mean, I guess that's the important thing is like if you're curating a scene, understand that like you've always got to be on the side of comedy because you will have this happen. You've probably already had it happen where someone says something that offends someone, and now I'm guessing.
The
Not
Kobe
looking
tweet-
at anyone, Andre.
I recently tweeted out something about Kobe that did not go well in the social medias.
He got some negative.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
2
I got a lot of-
hours after.
I got a lot of death threats.
So you're the Andrhey Shaffir.
Yes.
Well, he fancies himself Andre Jesselneck. I think.
Ah,
That's
yeah.
what it
There
is.
you go.
It's what I get compared to the most, or like Daniel Tosh I got the other night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's the thing, like those fucking guys are great, and like, and even Ari, like the thing he did about Kobe, like he admitted, like, yeah, maybe I should have been more tactful
He
about
went a
it,
little
Yeah.
bit harsh.
but he's a fucking great guy, and he's a funny
Yeah,
dude,
of course
and,
he
Yeah.
is.
and like, that's the thing. It's like you've always got to be on the side of comedy because it will. If people get offended, you'll have fuckers trying to shut you down. You may even get so far as groups protesting, or like, or
Well,
like.
we're working on it. We'll give it a couple years.
And exactly,
Andre,
no
go for
press is bad press.
Hey, there it is.
But like comedies, it's supposed to rub people the wrong way. Not all the time, but some people.
Supposed to make you
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's supposed to make you think. And ultimately, sometimes you get rubbed the wrong way, and now you got a little rash, and you put some cream on that rash, and now that it heals, and now you got like a story. You're like, look, I used to have a rash right here.
Yeah.
And I used this cream, man.
Right.
And now you know what? I realized rash wasn't even that bad. Now I go back to that place once or twice a week to get that rash. I'm into rashes, man. Because what does a rash do? Makes you scratch. When you scratch, it releases melatonin in your brain. It feels nice, and then you fall asleep. Melatonin is not the right.
No,
chemical
yeah,
at
you
all.
meant serotonin.
Serotonin. Thank you.
I kind of was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute.
But like, I
Sure.
love to scratch. I'm just saying.
You want to
Okay,
fall
bud.
asleep?
Yeah. Scratch till I fall asleep.
Yeah,
Just
buddy.
one time I had athlete's foot. Stopped at a Walgreens, bought a toothbrush, took my shoe off, took my sock off, went to town on my toes with a toothbrush.
Ooh.
Pure ecstasy.
Oh, that
Pure
like,
ecstasy.
honestly, you describing that, I was like, I bet that was so funny.
Pure. And then sprayed it with athlete's foot, and it burnt because I had just scratched it raw.
Yeah.
And it burnt so fucking bad. But God, was that amazing. Right? And I never would have experienced that fucking joy if I didn't have that athlete's foot. You understand?
Right?
Sometimes being offended is like getting athlete's
Yeah.
foot. Let them go deal with it.
Just think where
Yeah.
your coronavirus is going to get you now.
Yeah, exactly.
I have gout.
You have gout?
I don't.
Jesus, I should have gout. Yeah, I don't. So all you gotta do is drink beer and eat a lot of shrimp.
That's what I hear. I enjoy both those things.
Yeah.
Don't trust the shrimp out here.
Well,
Don't eat mountain seafood. You
we're,
say?
yeah, we're a bit away from the sea.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm from Cape Cod. I don't trust any seafood out here.
Oh, buddy, you and I could hang out with some shellfish
Oh.
in a different situation.
a completely different setup.
Yeah, if you ever
Yeah,
want to do
buddy.
that, give me a call.
Yeah, we'll go clam bake, crab, crawfish, boil, fucking go to town. You're from Cape Cod?
Yeah.
You ever been to Provincetown?
Oh, dude, come on.
P-Town?
I've been to P-Town.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm from Sandwich.
there's a place called. You're from Sandwich?
Yeah, I went to Sandwich High School.
Wow.
That is a real thing.
His name's Jared, not the same dude.
He also
Okay,
worked
yeah, I
at
was like,
Subway
what-
at one point.
But
Yeah.
so the first bit I ever wrote was, "My name's Jared.
Yeah.
I'm from Sandwich, and I worked at a Subway."
Yeah, that's like the beginning of a novel.
Yes. Not a good one,
Forever.
but yeah.
Of the guy who actually murdered Jared. The actual Jared. I can't remember his last name.
Oh,
Fucking, I should know this.
Jared, Subway guy. That's how.
That's
I know
all it
him.
is. Yeah.
Subway.
Where are we gonna go with P-Town though? I'm curious.
Oh, Pete. No, just P-Town. I did a festival. Caitlin and I did a festival earlier or late last year in P-Town, and it was fucking adorable, amazing. Just little Cape Cod, just little hamlet, beautiful. The shows were amazing. Gayest place I've ever been.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
like per capita. I think it's the gayest place in the United States.
In San Fran?
Just
Oh,
under
San Fran's
Francisco.
not San Fran, and I feel like San Francisco's under Atlanta now. Even
Really?
Atlanta's
Oh,
more, yeah,
then
because
maybe-
San Francisco's all tech bro money now.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Atlanta's gayer than San
I
Francisco.
feel like Atlanta's. It's so hood though. You know.
Hood can be gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, it's
You ever heard about?
Okay.
You ever? You know? Come on, it's called on the down low, bud.
We're from different areas. We don't have that.
Yeah.
We are neither hood nor gay or even minorities whatsoever in this tiny fucking town. So
Oh,
I have no
I'm
idea.
from Sandwich. That's called white
Yeah.
bread.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of Mexican. Like that's
Yeah.
There's
You
and
sure?
all of us are, and everyone's a little gay,
it's.
I mean,
and some people are. There's definitely gay people in Steamboat.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
friends with them. They're good
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the few black people I know is also one of the few gay people I know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wilkie. He's a talented guy. He's a great singer.
I feel like yeah.
We
Man, that
we
guy
mix
probably
them up. here in
owns this
Steamboat.
town. I bet owns this town.
Oh, I'm sure he fucking
fucks it
cleans
up.
Yeah, but that's like yeah.
He's also like
P-Town-
6'9". He's fucking enormous.
Yeah.
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 He also
nice
has
guy.
telepathy. You just keep going with this
Yeah, I
guy.
mean, like,
he's also
he's also-
telepathic. Yeah.
He's also the president
Yeah.
of the United States.
Yeah, yeah. But the one that you don't know about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The second one.
Yeah. They elected Trump to fucking occupy all the idiots, so
Yeah.
this dude could actually
Yeah,
run
he
the
just
country.
puts on a show and they're
Yeah.
like, Will Greer, be big and giant and black and gay and fix us.
We're
He's
not.
like,
we
I
didn't-
got you.
We didn't pull out of the Paris Accords. Come on, are you crazy? The guy owns a house. The White House is actually in Paris.
Yeah, right. We lifted it out. It's great. Cut out for a second there.
Just for a second.
I hope
We're
it's
back.
just
We're
the
I
back.
know where we cut, but we're gonna figure it out.
Nah, I feel like
Anyways.
We're
it's-
back. We'll
yeah.
fix it in post. It's
We'll
fine.
fix it, boss.
Yeah, everything. Oh, Jesus
I hope-
Christ!
Dude, you're struggling with that mic stand tonight.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not used to high tech situations.
Just like I've seen Bert's podcast on YouTube, and they literally just sit on a couch and hold a mic.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, you sit on a couch, you hold a mic. His assistant sits, behind a large wooden desk, and just does whatever. Bert, pull up another video. Bert's a good boss, I imagine, but he yells at that kid.
Yeah, I imagine.
He gives that kid shit.
You gotta be forceful.
Yeah, in Bert's defense, that kid he has narcolepsy, so he falls asleep constantly. Would you rather have narcolepsy or Tourette's?
Ooh.
Oh, Tourette's is so funny.
Well,
Yeah.
it can be. It can also be like really rough. You ever
It
seen
can,
like
no, it can.
Yeah.
like so it's not
I
always
say-
like you yell fuck. Sometimes it's like you have to like punch yourself in the face before you can talk or like.
I
clean
punch
things
myself and
physically.
say cunt just to fucking pick
Just to
myself
feel
up.
alive.
That's just how you wake up.
Just,
That's how
yeah,
you
just,
get
yeah.
fresh.
That's how you quit drinking coffee, right?
That's how, yeah. That's
Yeah.
I feel like I would rather have outbursts than just the
Than
danger of just falling asleep.
right.
Dude, a good buddy
Yeah.
of mine.
Yeah.
No, a good buddy of mine has narcolepsy, and he's not allowed to get a motorcycle license. And
Oh,
I'm-
bummer.
dude, no.
Can't even live.
Uh,
I just feel bad for him. That's all he wanted in high school.
Oh,
Was to die
poor
on a
guy.
motorcycle.
yeah, but buddy of mine's got alcoholism. He's not allowed to get a motorcycle license. Because
Because of the fourth time or the
'cause of-
fifth.
yeah, exactly.
That's why everyone in this town has bikes because
Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
too many DUIs.
He's got 4 DUIs, but in different states. You got to
Yeah.
spread it out, man. That's
Yeah.
the key.
You gotta move one state per DUI.
That's the key to being a good drunk driver. Is spreading your DUI. Some states call them DUIs. Some call them DWIs. Me, Jeff. Jeff McConaughey. Back to tell you, got
He's driving his F-150.
Yeah.
He's got 5 of those.
I got a DUI in Colorado, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming. I got a DWI in Louisiana, Florida, Texas, and Arkansas. Which one did I enjoy the most? Hands down, Louisiana. Because those roads are fucking trash, man. They just really test your abilities.
Especially after a good flood. Hot dang.
I mean, I drove a F-150 through a flood. Didn't even realize it was flooded. I thought it was teardrop. I thought it was the tears building up from the sweet, sweet roar of that V12.
Genuine tornadoes.
All right, well, guys, do you guys got anything else you want to bounce off our special guest here, Mr. Patton?
Actually, I'm just curious. What's your favorite club in New York? I'm gonna throw that on you.
I mean, in New York, it's the Cellar. The Cellar's
Yeah.
a fantastic club.
Hands down.
Yeah. Hands down.
Sarah
I mean,
Jane's been there. She's giving you a thumbs up.
yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, but right behind it, the Stand is fantastic as well, as is New York Comedy Club. But the Cellar is like, it's amazing. It's but also like outside, Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis is probably my favorite outside
I've heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
of New York. Comedy on State.
Minneapolis school town.
Yeah, Comedy on State in Madison. That's my other favorite club outside of New York or LA. Then, Comedy Works in Denver.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
For sure.
Go Bananas in Cincinnati. Fantastic.
Oh, I
Yeah.
used to live in Cincinnati.
That's a great club.
I never went there, but I remember like when I was first really thinking about doing comedy. The one guy, I can't remember his name, from Workaholics, the big, enormous fucking black dude with the
the guy
glasses.
Oh,
So
Eric
ridiculous.
Griffin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So funny. He was headlined there. I was like, oh man, I should
Yeah, it's a
jump
great.
in this.
The Midwest has a fantastic comedy scene as well. Like the Cincinnati, Indianapolis, sort of Louisville, that
Yeah,
world. They
the
have a great
tri-state area.
Yeah, they have a
There you
great Helium Philly, all the Heliums. Fucking great. Dead Crow and Wilmington. There's so many great clubs in the country.
yeah.
And it's kind of fucking exciting because there is kind of a renaissance happening, or just like it's a boom again.
Yep.
And like they're all booking, and people are going, and the shows are fun, and people are more comedy savvy audience wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a big
Yeah.
thing now. I mean, with Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
Just
mean,
the internet.
Or the
YouTube.
internet. Like you
Yeah.
said
Yeah,
earlier,
yeah.
the internet. Like I
Yeah.
mean, it's like fucking oxygen now, man.
Yeah.
Go check it out. You can see anyone you want on the internet.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's where I start crying. And
Oh, yeah.
and we guys know here in front of on top of this Bob Marley table cover. And for those listening at home, I'm not talking about the reggae legend. I mean main superstar comedian Bob Marley. These guys are real comedy nerds here. It's a beautiful thing
Fucking love Bob Marley.
to be, Cape Cod, huge fan.
I know, like that is my life, what he talks about.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful thing. Get out there and just fucking do it. Kyle Kinane said it once, right? And they,
Sounds right.
and in that growl is so much love and pain and exhilaration and joy, because no one you'll ever see love doing what they do more than that dude. So like, just become Kyle. Everyone become Kyle, but don't steal his material.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Don't become this Kyle or steal my material either.
Yeah.
It's not very good. You
Don't
have to.
steal material. And what's another one? Don't murder.
Don't murder.
Don't literally murder, but figuratively,
All the
Just-
All the time.
bloodbath.
Kill,
Yeah.
don't murder.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Sweet. Well,
We did it.
this has been
We
awesome.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
very
we're-
much for
and we're
coming.
right
I hope
about
I hope the first half of this that before cut out recorded.
Yeah, well, I think it's gonna end up being about 10 minutes, but we'll figure it out. I'll splice
Sweetness.
it together.
We did it. Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for coming
coming,
out,
yeah.
dude. This
Really
is a
appreciate
pleasure.
it,
This is an honor. So glad that you stopped by my shitty room /podcast studio.
Let me tell you something. I mean, is it a bunch of comedians that live in this house?
Just us.
Just us two, and then some roommates.
And then
that-
This
Four other
okay. This is the cleanest comedy domicile I've seen in 4 to 5 days. So
I'll take it.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Sick. Awesome. Well, if you, I'll probably put this out tomorrow morning. So
Yeah.
if you listen to this in the morning, go see Sean tomorrow night at the Chief Theater, or tonight, I guess, if you're
Yeah.
listening to it in the morning.
Anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, if you can't get in, like I said, I'm in Denver, April 16th through 19th, and just go to my website. It's meSeanPatton.com. Tour dates are up constantly. Follow me on all the socials. I post on Instagram probably the most. TikTok
we're
makes
at.
me angry. I might just start posting TikToks of me watching TikTok and getting hugely pissed off. In fact, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Starting right now.
Fuck you, TikTok! Mega star on TikTok. Like 50 million
Have you
followers.
seen the
Kill the
TikTok
game.
guy on TikTok? He hates
Pissed at
TikTok.
TikTok. There you go.
Yes, and some quick plugs for Steamboat Comedy. So come see us once a week for open mic. Check the website or our Instagram or Facebook to figure out where it's at each week. Also, we're coming up on the 12th of March. We'll be at
Steamboat Whiskey
Steamboat
Co.
Whiskey Company doing a storytelling This Is Not Happening show,
Oh,
which
word.
Mr. Patton is familiar with. You check him out on YouTube for the actual This Is Not Happening.
Yeah.
We're doing a storytelling show with our buddy Corey David and his friends. Steamboat Whiskey Company, that's a Thursday. The next night, Friday the 13th, we're going to be at Schmiggity's doing a full-on comedy show. It's going to be a great time. Corey's headlining. He's very funny if you haven't seen him. So check that out and check our website.
I kind of
Listen to
feel
the
like,
podcast.
are you guys calling it This Is Not Happening?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like you should. Because I know Ari doesn't, that he doesn't deal with that name,
Well,
the
it's
name of that yeah.
I
It's just
know.
Roy now, right?
Is this, what's that?
It's Roy, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
Roy
but that
doing it.
show, but the show's over.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
So I
is it?
think like
Oh,
Ari's
okay.
like renamed the show.
I was kind of
Yeah.
like, we were making the poster, and I was like, I don't know if this is like a
I
trademark
mean,
thing.
it's in his
So,
honor.
Tell Ari
Well.
we stole it.
He'll be-
Also, I know
yeah.
Ari loves skiing, so tell him to fucking hit me up, and he'd come out.
I try.
And do a show.
I talked to him about this too. Yeah, we did like a show, and then we went to Vail, and then 2 years ago, and then last year and skied. And last year we did. Sorry to say it, Colorado people, but we went on the other side of the mountain to Utah, and did Wise Guys, which is great. Wise Guys,
Oh.
put that on the list. That's a
Okay.
great,
Wise
great,
Guys.
Right
great,
on.
great comedy club as well. Fantastic, but also snowboard on that side. In my
Utah is
experience,
sweet, actually. I mean,
Utah's pretty fucking sweet
It's
for
so cool.
snowboarding. Yeah, but still Colorado has legal weed and no Mormons.
Yeehaw.
checkmate, bitches.
Yeah.
So yeah. Tell him to hit us up. We'll get him some lift tickets. That's how I bribed Robbie out here. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah,
It's been awesome. Thanks again to Sean for coming out.
of course.
Everybody have a great night. We'll catch you next time.
Toodles noodle.
Let's
We
see.
are we rolling? We're rolling.
We're rolling.
Yeah.
We're rolling. All right.
Yeah.
speaker
Hold him up to the
Speaker.
mic. We got it.
You might. Come on, Ari. Come on, you fucker. Hey, Ari. 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 You fuck. Did he pick up with his ass? Hey, Ari. Shaffir.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm in the green room.
A green room where?
Stand.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm on a podcast. You're on a podcast right now in Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
What's up, Ari?
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're all big fans, and they are going to do a storytelling show, and I told them they should just call it This Is Not Happening. Can they do it?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Thank you, Ari, for your
Thank you,
blessing.
Ari. You're fucking great, man.
Come ski here, you fuck.
Yeah, they all say, come ski here, you fuck, and do a show. So let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely want to ski around a bunch of school children. You fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Ski with fucking more rich kids, idiots.
We know the rich kids.
Yeah. It's okay to plow them down.
Yeah.
All right, they're going to do it. They're going to take the show, and they're going to start calling it This Is Not Happening.
We're
So
running with it.
Run with it, man. Maybe you can get on Comedy Central.
there he goes.
Hell yeah, bud.
All right, I'll call you later about the thing I text you about. Later.
Ari Shaffir, ladies and gentlemen.
Ari Shaffir just gave these boys their blessing.
We have the blessing
Yeah.
from the This Is Not Happening Godfather.
Yeah.
There we
it is.
go.
We're doing it.
Boom.
Later.
Later.
Later.